Hi everybody, I'm Joe Thompson at Hodinkee and I'm standing outside the Tag Heuer booth at the 2018 Baselworld Fair. I'm about to go in and talk to Jean-Claude Biver, the CEO of Tag Heuer and the head of the LVMH watch division. I want to talk to him about the market for expensive smartwatches and want to see how that market is developing and to see what Jean-Claude has to say about it. So let's go inside. Jean-Claude, I'd like to ask you about smartwatches. Tag Heuer is one of the few Swiss watch brands that have embraced the new connected technology. However, people question whether or not there is room in the market, or there is a market, for connected watches over $1,000. What have you found and what do you think about that?
I think there is a market because we found this market, but we must be clear that this market is called a niche. And does technology fit to a niche? Not necessarily, because technology is based on production, on mass, on quantities. So basically, technology is not made for the niche. But if you are happy with the niche, if your brand fits into the niche, and if you can find a supplier that can supply you small quantities, which is not necessarily the case, then I think it's worse. But don't believe that everybody can go in this niche. You must first find the right partner who is ready to sell you only 50,000 chips. Right. I say something, or 50,000 screens.
Right.
And 50,000 chips.
Right.
When you know that Intel is making 60 billion turnover, and we are talking 50,000 chips at, I don't know, $20 a chips, would they even move for such a small quantity? No. So you need a real partnership. And so we went into this field, into this niche, because we could rely on two partners that were ready to partner. And we have a brand that fits. That means a brand that has a price segment between 1,000 and 5,000. If you have a brand where the first price starts at 5,000, how can you make a connected watch at 1,000, but you kill your brand? You cannot have a watch at 1,000 and then the others at 5. So for us, it was an extraordinary experience. It was an experience that is such that we don't want to stop, that we are going on, but we know this will always be limited. We will never be a big player. We will never be able to come out with world first. How can you come out with a world first when you do 50,000 pieces? You can have a world first in the mechanical watch, because their pieces are limited. You do 1,000 tourbillon, that's already a lot. So we know where we are, we know what is our price segment, we know who are our partners. Now we have the experience and we will go on, and we will always bring a watch connected that also fits our message. And that is the most important thing. And I take as an example to illustrate Hublot. Never ever could Hublot have had a connected watch if it was not a Tag. Correct. Because they said we only make one shot, and it's for the World Cup, and we want to do 2018 pieces. But 2018 pieces, it's peanuts. Yeah. They would never have been able in a position to find the supply. But as we have it, we said, okay, we can provide you the technology. Here, Mr. Hublot, we give it to you, you put it in your own case, and you do on top of this an application that is made for World Cup FIFA. So what we want to do for the next one, for instance, we want to have more and more applications that are related to our world, to our universe. If Tag is in the cycling, we should have an application that works for cycling. Eventually, an application that we have developed by ourselves that is special. If we are in golf, we should have an application for golf. If we are in soccer, we should have an application for soccer. And then we have a very nice coherence between Tag Heuer, the brand, Tag Heuer, the universes it embraces, and then the connected watch that can be connected to these universes. Then it makes sense. But even if it makes sense, it will always be niche.
Okay, but it's not an experiment for you. You are committed to this market.
No, it's not. Maybe the first was an experience, and the first gave us the conviction that it would have legs, that there is a future. And we are determined to go on and to stay connected, if I may say, to the connected world.
Proponents of smartwatches say that the point of connectivity is shifting from the mobile phone to the wrist.
Of course.
Do you subscribe to that school of thought, and do you believe in that? And do you see then that smartwatches do become even more important in the future if the cell phone becomes less important?
Of course. The big shift from what I know, I'm not an expert, but what I know, goes to the connectivity of your environment. When your refrigerator at home is connected, when your car is connected, when your watch is connected, all these different elements that are connected, they talk with them. And then eventually the phone plays a second role. Today or yesterday, the only part that was connected was the phone. Right. So the phone was the most important part. Now, if the connectivity goes to everything that is wearable, car, a dress, a bag, and all this are talking each to other, then the phone loses its importance. So I believe, and I have people from Silicon Valley who confirmed it to me, the phone will play a secondary role, not anymore leading role as it is today. The wrist is the best place for your information system. That is why today we sell much more wristwatches, and that is why tomorrow the wristwatch connected will be more important and will have a better place to be than on a phone.